Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys news, uncertainty on defense as Dallas looks for immediate results from Mike Zimmer. Whither goest thou? Tyron Smith, the longest tenured player on the Cowboys, wants to play another season with the team, a person familiar with his thinking told the Dallas Morning News. Smith, 33, becomes an unrestricted free agent this spring and there is uncertainty about a return. When Tyron Smith signed his 10-year contract extension in 2014, the salary cap was $133 million. With his $11 million annual contract value, he accounted for 8.3% of the cap. That same $11 million today would be just 4.4% of the cap, if the cap hits $250 million. At current moment, over-the-cap projects it to be $242 million. The Cowboys are currently in the red but can very quickly get out with a few maneuvers, but according to Pro Football Talk that number may wind up even larger. It might be as high as $250 million. In the years following Hall of Fame coach Jimmy Johnson's departure from the Dallas Cowboys after winning consecutive Super Bowl titles in the 1992 and 1993 seasons, his relationship with team owner and general manager Jerry Jones was icy and bitter. Today, their relationship has returned to its original, familial form thanks to Jones inducting Johnson into the Cowboys' Ring of Honor at Dallas' regular season home finale against the Detroit Lions in Week 17 of the 2023 season. Perhaps with Johnson having Jones' ear once again, the Cowboys' time to truly contend for Super Bowls may come again soon. No news is good news? It doesn't appear the Dallas Cowboys will use the franchise tag this offseason. That would end a run of 6 consecutive years of using the tag. Mike Zimmer taking over as the Cowboys' DC could mean better development for last year's draft pick Motzi Smith. I know this seems like a Captain Obvious take, but it doesn't make it any less of a true statement. Motzi Smith, the Cowboys' first-round pick in 2023, was lower than a footnote on the season's page. Smith was slow off the snap, bullied out of position, and would have played even less than the 28% defensive snaps he logged had Jonathan Hankins not gotten injured. Another popular narrative that has been all but confirmed is the fact that he lost over 30 pounds throughout the season. The whole purpose of drafting a 330-pound defensive tackle in the first round was to help clog the middle of the line in the run game. That plan went out the window, rendering Smith incapable of contributing in a positive way. Still, we must give Motzi the benefit of the doubt in his rookie season. Not all first-rounders are superstars right off the bat, especially at the defensive tackle position. Newly hired defensive line coach Jeff Zgonina played defensive tackle in the NFL for 17 seasons and should have the ammo to improve Smith's game. Cowboys, Shannon Sharpe rips Jerry Jones for culture problems in Dallas. Television analyst Shannon Sharpe is not happy with how things are going in Dallas. Sharpe is criticizing Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones for the football team's culture, per ESPN. This is what you get right now, you get guys making excuses, and the Cowboys have had a better team a number of years in the postseason, Sharpe said. The coaches can't coach, because Jerry is the coach. The Cowboys have aspirations of a Super Bowl nearly every year. The team has won 5 total Super Bowl championships. The Cowboys, however, haven't been there since 1995, when the team beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the big game. The franchise hasn't even made it to the NFC Championship game since that season, a drought of nearly 30 years for one of football's most iconic franchises. The Cowboys have certainly had their chances since then, though. The team finished another disappointing season in 2023 by bowing in the NFC wild card round to the Green Bay Packers. The Cowboys have now made the playoffs 13 times since their last Super Bowl win, only to fall short each time of the NFC title game. Sharpe says Jones plays a large role in that failure. Jerry Jones created the culture, he created it, Sharpe added. Jerry is the coach. He's the offensive coordinator, he's the defensive coordinator, he's the position coach. This is what he has allowed to happen. Jones may be listening to his critics, because he's making changes to the group of people who advise him. The team announced Tuesday that former Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson is now on Jones' advisory board. Johnson coached the Cowboys to 2 Super Bowl championships. Cowboys could pull off trade for $96 million star receiver, analyst. The Dallas Cowboys could be an ideal landing spot for a former star wide receiver. In a scenario pitched by SB Nation's LP Cruz, the Cowboys could expedite the process of moving on from Michael Gallup, who has underperformed since signing a 5-year, $62.5 million contract extension in 2022, by making a move for New Orleans Saints wideout Michael Thomas. Thomas has 1 year left on his deal, and the Saints could look to trade the former $96 million receiver. Then you have Michael Thomas. Thomas is a decorated player, 2019 Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time All-Pro, and 3-time Pro Bowler, who has fallen on hard times, says Cruz. Thomas has suffered various injuries over the last few years, most recently placed on season-ending injured reserve last season, and has played just 20 games in the previous 4 seasons. Yet, this is precisely why the Cowboys could target Thomas, because they might be able to get him on the cheap. The 30-year-old Thomas was once the best receiver in the NFL. He set a single-season receptions record, 149, back in 2019 and led the league in that category during the 2018 season. He also led the NFL in receiving yards, 1,725, in 2019 and won the Offensive Player of the Year award. However, it's been all downhill since then. Thomas has dealt with a number of injuries since his record-breaking 2019 season, appearing in just 7 games during the 2020 season before missing the entire 2021 campaign due to an ankle injury. After beginning the 2021 season with a hot start, 16 receptions and 171 receiving yards for 3 touchdowns in 3 games, Thomas's season came to an end due to a foot injury. After agreeing to a restructure of his deal during the 2023 offseason, his base salary dropped from $15.5 million to $1.165 million. Thomas played a solid complementary role to number 1 receiver Chris Olave to begin the 2023 season. His 39 receptions for 448 receiving yards, 11.5 yards per reception, were his best numbers since the 2019 season, but his season came to an end due to a knee injury after 10 games. While there are major injury concerns relating to Thomas, he would likely be expected to play a number 3 role behind CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. In the case of Gallup, Dallas could save a massive amount of money by moving on from him as a post-June 1 cut. They could $9.5 million this season and $11.5 million in each of the next 2 seasons by releasing him. They would absorb $4.35 million dead money cap hits in each of the next 3 seasons. Despite not dealing with any serious injuries over the past 2 seasons, he's made 31 appearances with 24 starts. Gallup has averaged just 36.5 receptions and 421 receiving yards per season since 2022. In other words, those numbers are worse than Thomas's numbers in 2023, despite him appearing in just 10 games. With Gallup's 2024 $4 million salary guaranteeing on March 18, it may be time to simply cut ties with him and start anew with another veteran receiver. And you fan, what do you think of the Michael Thomas situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.